Hello and welcome back to another review of me, Kevin from Kev Grant on Whisky. This week we're jumping back over to Islay, a small island, one of my favourite in the world. When I went there a few years ago, it just grabs you, and it's just one of these places. I would kind of call it the whisky capital of just amazingness for me. Just the views, everything, all the distilleries, you can get to them very easily. You could probably get to every distillery in the same day. It's just a small wee island, but easy enough to get around, and there's plenty of whisky. But we're going to Kilchoman. Unfortunately, when I was there, I was not able to get to Kilchoman, so I have a bottle here of the Sanaig, which is part of the core range. This really good whisky, it's a mixture of bourbon and sherry casks, but it looks kind of a bit more of a sherry influence for me on the colour. So it's a non-age statement. Kilchoman's a really cool distillery. They were founded 2005 by Anthony Willis. It was the first distillery to be put on Islay in 124 years. I think Lagavulin was before them. So they were the first new distillery. 2005 they're there. 2006 there was a fire in the still house, I think it was. It kind of ceased production for a little bit at the time. And they stopped the barley process and everything. So slightly like a year behind, if you look at it that way. There's some really cool things with this though that Kilchoman do for me, which I wish every distillery could do. If you kind of drop Kilchoman to Springbank, not for flavour, but for methods of making whisky, what they're doing is more or less similar. Kilchoman have their own fields, their own barley fields, so they grow their own barley. Malt, mash, everything they do is done on site. They do 100% of it there, bottle it, label it, the full works, which for me is everything in that bottle is from that area, terroir if you like. So I think it's 2,000 acres, they've got 200 tonnes of barley they make per year to make all this whisky. But we're still to see an age statement. If you think about it, 3 years on from 2008, they could have age statements, but I've not heard anyone yet complain there's no age statements on this. For me, it has to be about the quality of the whisky. And this is what we've got in front of us. A bourbon cask from, I think it's Buffalo Trace is what they use as their kind of primary bourbon matured, and then the bodega in, where have I got that? Miguel Martin in Spain. A lot of distilleries do use these places, but for some reason they just seem to nail it. So this whisky here, what we have, I've got my wee topper on it. I've had it sitting in the glass for a little bit just because it's a peated whisky. My first dram of the day as well. I'm going to leave that over here. It's one that if you leave this in this room and you go for a wander and come back, you know there's a whisky in here. It's just, it aerates so well. I know a lot of people don't like peat, and that's absolutely fine. Not every whisky's for everyone. I do like my peat. That's why I went to Islay, got to experience it all and see it all, and there's some distilleries which are completely different. So here we have, if we kind of delve into the bottle, Sanaig is a rugged Atlantic coast on Islay, so this is what it's known for and why it's been named that. It's looking out onto the Atlantic. Non-chill filtered, natural colour, 46% ABV, all the good stuff that we want. So it's 70% Oloroso sherry and 30% bourbon. So 70% Miguel Martin and 30% Buffalo Trace. And as you can see in the colour, if I can hopefully get that focused in on there. Lovely legs on it. I can smell it without being close to it, giving me really, really nice aromas straight off the bat. So what we'll do, we'll get into it, we'll go back to some of the kind of facts and things I've been able to find about it, but I want to kind of nose this, see what we get, see if anything changes from it. So first up, let's get this on the nose. It is quite creamy. I would say you get the Atlantic coast in there, that the sea breeze, the saltiness, peatiness is there, quite floral too, but creamy, kind of maybe custard like cream, kind of thick and dense with salt, ocean and floral. Yeah, it's got a wee mixture in there for sure. So let's get this on the palate. You get the peat hits, but not as big as I remember. I've had this for a while, as you can see, but it doesn't hit me as what that big punch. It's 50 parts per million, it's 50 ppm, so it's up there on the kind of Islay scale of big hitting peat monsters, if you would say, but it's kind of got that more grass and hay, a little bit fruit coming through. The saltiness stays there, it slightly dries off at the end. They've got that the slight sherry note coming through it as well, but it stays creamy, it stays thick in the palate. So the other cool thing, if we go back for a little bit, is they do their own floor maltings as well, which is a traditional method used. There's over 100 distilleries in Scotland and there's only 7 left that do that, and Kilchoman's one of them. So using everything they've got, nothing goes to waste. When they get the grist and everything back, it goes back to the cattle. They have Angus cattle on site and sheep and things, so all the waste goes back to them. And they do 90 hours fermentation time, which is a lot longer than anyone else, because they want to get it right. They want to get these real flavours, this kind of heaviness, and be different from everyone else, and I think they are. They definitely are. I'm just trying to see if there's anything else coming through. I got a little hint of orange there. Maybe like a burnt orange. It's been barbecued. It's got the sweetness to it. It's not that full tangy orange you're getting, like a freshly peeled orange, but it's more been cut. Maybe putting a barbecue charcoal and based on that, on top of the floralness and creamy custardy note. Maybe a bit like creme brulee. Creme brulee, how do you say that? Creme brulee? Creme brulee. But it's enjoyable on the nose. I'm going to go back again. I don't actually say cheers when I had my dram. Apologies. Slainte, everyone. It's just nice. It's not overly spicy. It's that chewiness to it. It's thick. It feels heavy but light. It's a contrast. Look at the legs. It's just sticking around the glass. It's just nice going on. 50 parts per million. The peat is there, but it's not in your face. It doesn't feel like a 50 ppm to me. But I think the balance is just right on this. I do. I think there's a lot of time, care. Everything's from Islay as well. We need to remember that. Maybe when they get bigger, and I know they are getting bigger, they're trying to build extensions and things on, will they be able to maintain the whole farming their own barley? 250 tonnes per year is a lot. How's that going to look in 10 years' time when these sales are just going and going and going? They're just climbing and climbing. The Sanaig is part of the core range, which is really good. I think it's a beautiful bottle. It's done really well. It's noticeable. It's just really, really nice, and it's always going to be here. So Sanaig and Immaculate Bay are their 2 core range. There's 100% Islay I got to try not so long ago, which was just phenomenal. A full bourbon cask matured thing. It was just sensational. Really, really enjoyed that. But I'm enjoying this. I maybe enjoyed the full bourbon maturation more cask strength. I really did. That was kind of up my street. This is really nice and good for money. I think it's £44 as well. So you're not paying over the odds. I think it's 4 to 5 years old is what they're using. This one was bottled, I'm pretty sure, in the back. This is from this year, 28th of April this year. So this is the kind of one of the later ones that's came out. But I enjoy it. Everything about it's there. It's one of the thickest mouthfeel drams I've had in a long, long time. I forgot that kind of how real dense it is on you. It's really nice. I'd like to quickly just say thanks to everyone as well who's been subscribing, liking, watching the videos, commenting the videos again. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Hit the subscribe button for weekly content. And as I say that, I just reached the 500 mark, which for you guys following me and listening to me talk whiskey is absolutely amazing. I really, really appreciate it, and never thought I'd reach that mark. Maybe in a couple of years' time we'll get to the 1,000, who knows. But thank you so much. I'll keep the content coming as best that I can. Every single week, every Friday, if I can get my video out, I will do it. It's been a bit crazy this week getting this video, and it will be the same next week, but when I find my time, I do it. Do not worry. But I'm going to sit back, I'm going to go and enjoy this. I've got a busy week ahead. So I'll finish this dram, as always, in the living room. I've only got maybe one wee dram left in this as well, so I might just finish this tonight just to have it done. And I've got a few empty bottles there, so I'm going to do like a wee recycled review. I might do a live. What I'll do is, in the comments below, let me know if you want me to do a video on a recycled review or want me to do a live when I can tell you what I thought about all these bottles and if I would buy them again or if I would just keep them in the recycling. But I'm going to go and sit back, I'm going to relax as always, finish my wee dram and just have a relaxing day on this cold autumn evening. But as always everyone, I've been Kevin from Kevin Grant on Whisky. Join me next week, let's talk whisky. Slainte.